Today is your birthday. Okay, it's technically not until the 20th, but let's be real, Miles. Anybody that knew you knew the entire month of June was your birthday. And that was how you lived your life. Celebrating every second and every moment you could savor. Sometimes a little too much.
Last night was so much fun.
So, this is my birthday gift I'm making for you. I don't know anything about this stuff, Miles. This was clearly your wheelhouse and not mine. But I'm gonna try. And the fact that I got my first drone to make this and you're not here to guide me through it is really something else. 99% sure I'm gonna crash this shit. You had so much experience, but I'm still gonna try to do this right, and here's my promise. I will not deify you, nor will I demonize you, because you weren't either of them. You wouldn't want me to anyway. You and I had a no BS, no lies, no exaggeration policy, so that's what this is gonna be. Plus, this video would be 72 hours long if I had to cover every corner and layer, not just to you, but to how you and I worked. It would take all day. From your humor and your fire meme game to just your adoration of my cat and your dedication to all of the ridiculous stuff and all of the art that you would make of him. It was just the best. Your love of Dexter was just one of a million things about you that I could talk about forever. And there's just not enough time.
He's a good boy.
So this is for you.
Really? All right, gentlemen.
About you, as I knew you, as I saw you, and as I still see you. And to thank you for the endless amount of unconditional love and belief and support that you constantly poured into me. You had a seismic impact on the person that I am today, and I just love you so much. You know I never believed in coincidences. A million decisions that other people made outside of us, plus decisions we independently made in our own lives, culminated in a girl from a small town full of cornfields in Minnesota and a boy from a small town in Arizona coming together here. You demoed at my trial class at EVKM, and you were in a long sleeve white shirt and red shorts. I have no idea why I remember that. And you and I were both just duct taping ourselves and our hearts back together when we met. We both had gone through such upheaval and were in such a free fall. And in our pain, we had no way of knowing or seeing that God was carefully and quietly carving the path from me to you. And we were both baffled, Miles, because it threw us off. You and I became completely entwined in each other on totally separate but parallel paths. And on paper, we made absolutely no sense. You seemed like the polar opposite of me. You loved heavy metal and huge crowds and loud concert venues and your tattoos and your piercings, and your lifestyle just seemed so alien from anything that I had ever known. But as we got to know each other, I realized your deep, dark secret, and that was that you were a dork. You were so kind and so gentle,
Come back, Barry.
talented, just beyond belief. More spontaneous than I certainly have ever been, but also never reckless. And outside of a mutual love for UFC and MMA, you didn't care about sports, but you'd always go to sports stuff with me. You would go to a Minnesota Vikings bar with me, in Minnesota Vikings attire, completely unable to name a single Minnesota Viking. And you did it just because you wanted to be there experiencing something I loved and cared about. And somehow we just formed this bond that just kept expanding and widening and deepening to a level that neither one of us understood. We tried to talk about it, but we just couldn't articulate it. And whereas I would look at the world with some hesitation and say, what if? You would always look at me with that mischievous sparkle in your eye and say, why not? The world was your playground and your canvas for art. That's just how you were wired. You were constantly expanding my horizons and pulling me out of my comfort zone into our physical world. And I pulled you inward to explore your inner world and work through all the knots that you needed to undo and get to know yourself and what drove you. What did you really want and believe when nobody was looking? To release this mask that you built to hide all of your emotions and sensitivity because they were wonderful gifts. You never needed to hide from me. And that was why we worked so well, Myles. We were just perfectly balanced somehow to be able to handle each other with velvet gloves as needed. And as a result of this, we were naturally so protective of each other, never wanting to change each other, but always altering who was the sword and who was the shield. I could not and would not tolerate anybody that broke your heart, betrayed you, or frightened you. I just could not do it. I wish you could see yourself the way I did. I hope you can now. And that's not to say that you were perfect. You drove me up the wall sometimes. You could be moody and grumpy and passive aggressive and hypocritical, but that was part of your journey. Those were your lessons to learn. A few years ago, you told me that you believed that this world was our chaotic symphony to navigate, and that you and I would return to it and each other over and over again until the end of time. Well, Myles, I can't dispute that. I guess my only request is next time around, I'd like to be the one that goes first, because being the one that's left behind is not very fun. You were forged in fire, formed and strengthened and purified in the heat and the magnificence of the Arizona sun. Wild, free, yearning and dreaming, determined. And while you were here, you saw 13,760 sunrises and 13,760 sunsets. And you did not waste a single one of them. To be an artist was in your DNA. You were simply put on this earth to create. And you saw life through lines and every curve, every color, every hue, all the layers, all the textures. You were in awe of life's beauty everywhere you went and shared it with us. It was so cool anytime I actually got to witness your brain in action and witness you create things. The paintings that you made for your sisters with that note on the back was just, Myles, you were just wonderful. You had such specific taste, not just when you dressed up either. You always just had your own flair, and I permanently associate you with Converse shoes and the smell of cologne and leather. You had a classic taste with a little bit of a hard edge. And you paid attention to every small detail. When you came to this party with me, you specifically called me to ask what color my purse would be so you could match your tie to it. And when I told you it was silver, you wanted to know if it was more of like a pewter or more of like a gunmetal silver. And by the way, you absolutely nailed it because of course you did. It was just a very underappreciated thing about you. You loved living life. You loved to just lightly drag your fingertips across the surface of chaos, but never so much that it would get out of your control. And while most people live by ready, aim, fire, you kind of lived more like fire, ready, aim, with varying results.
I'm not a fruit ninja.
And while you loved Scottsdale, Tempe always had your heart. You were welded to Mill Avenue. You were happiest on a nice patio with a good drink, great conversation, and fun people. I sincerely wonder how many gallons of oysters you consumed at Casey Moore's in your lifetime. Low Key was closed the night I filmed this, so I'm sorry. Movies at Tempe Marketplace. And how much you honed your craft just going down Mill Avenue. You loved strategy games. You loved poker, and I kicked your butt at it so many times, but I never beat you at chess. I never beat you at chess a single time. You were a thinker, Myles. You were so much smarter than you gave yourself credit for. You always had your nose in a book and were philosophizing about things. You rarely found the answers that you were seeking, but you were always looking. You fell in love often, hard, and regularly in your life. Your capacity to love was a marvel to behold. And I don't just mean in romance, I mean just humanity as a whole. No matter where you were, you could build your tribe. It was just incredible to watch because you could see the good in everyone. You never wanted anyone to feel left out. One of my favorite things you ever did was your 7 questions to ask your mom video. And it's because you were such an incredible listener. And throughout that video, there are all these little unconscious body language indicators to show that you were actually listening. That wasn't performative. That's how you actually were. And it's one of the many reasons so many people just loved you. And you were great in a crowd, but you were always most dazzling just one-on-one at home. Movie nights where you just loved to wrap me in blankets and brush my hair, and talk about whatever was going on with you, talking about signs and the meaning of dreams and hope and watching the sun rise together so many times, just losing track of time. These are the memories of you that I carry with me everywhere I go, because that was you at your beautiful, authentic self. You were a foundational bedrock that I built my life on in Arizona. You were what made Arizona really start to feel like home and set an anchor for me. You helped me set new roots and help nurture them. You helped me thrive. And I have admittedly been lost since you were taken. Everywhere I go and everything I see indelibly has your fingerprints left on them. You are tattooed across the landscape of my life and my heart. My existence now is just bereft of color and life. Your loss has been nothing short of excruciating for me. You had one of the largest impacts of anyone in my adult life, Myles. Nothing could have prepared me for our conversation to just slide further and further down our list after being at the top for almost a decade. And the silence has just been deafening. So much regret over the things that we never got to do, promises we made. I am so sorry we never got to go camping in Minnesota so that you could finally see the Northern Lights. Or go to Dubrovnik to go do nerdy Game of Thrones tours. Or go to Rome just so that your jaw could hit the floor at the sheer scale of everything. Thailand or Switzerland. We didn't even make it to Orange Sky. How many times did we make reservations at that restaurant and then have to cancel for one reason or the other? It was right there. You would have loved Project Hail Mary, and you were looking forward to Christopher Nolan's new Odyssey movie and the UFC White House card. I constantly see things that I know you love, but I can't send them. A million places with a million memories that are insignificant little corners to everybody else, but mean the world to me and to you. You just barely had started to scratch the surface of your potential, Myles. And I grieve every piano key that won't be pressed and every piece of art that we are being deprived of, and every holiday and birthday that you won't be here for. I literally saw this ad for these sunglasses last week and instantly thought, oh, I need to get those for Myles. And my brain is not tolerating the concept that you're gone. And I can't make myself take you out of my favorites or take your pin out of my favorites for my maps. Like, it's just, the terms and the conditions were for you to move to Florida, not for this. It's too much. And I am just one of an army of people who love you and miss you, and we all are going through it. You are very missable, sir. I promise I will try to find a way to see the world with your eyes, listen with your ears, and speak with your voice. And I will continue my promise to defend you, honor you, protect the boundaries that you set, uphold your legacy and honor and your greatest good with the same ferocity that I always did when you were here. I am so grateful to have known you and loved you in the time that you were here, and to be known by and loved by you. Thank you for everything that you were and everything that you weren't. Thank you for believing in me and protecting me and supporting me and always being there when I needed you. Thank you for your open mind and your open heart. Thank you for the promises that you made but just didn't have a chance to fulfill. So happy birthday, Myles. We love you and we miss you so much. So many of us can't wait to see you again. I love you, then, now, until the end of time. You were forged in fire. And now, you are an eternal flame we carry with us everywhere we go. We'll see you on the other side, Myles. Rest easy. We love you.